One of the major points of unrest has been the town of Taiz. From there, I'm joined by a journalist who we're not naming for her own safety. She's been telling us that 3 tribal leaders are being targeted by the past week. Thank you for being with us. What can you tell us about conditions in Taiz?
Well, the situation here is very complicated. Taiz has been targeted by security forces for 14 days now, and since the 29th of May. Last night, the city experienced a series of shelling. There were 4 targets. One of them was a hospital called Al Rauda, and a bus carrying civilians was hit. 1 person died, and at least 7 people were injured. I visited the hospital, and 3 people were in the operation theater. Their condition, medics say, is very complicated, very serious. Also, one of the second shell was targeted to the house of Sheikh Hamoud Saeed Al-Maghlafi. I have spoken to Sheikh Hamoud. He's one of the sheikhs who decided since the 29th of May protect what he calls the peaceful protesters here in Taiz. One of the shells just was a few meters away from his house, and I also visited the sites of the other shells. Many of civilian buildings were damaged. I have spoken to civilians that live in these residential areas, and they said that their life is very difficult in Taiz at the moment, and that they wish that this shelling stopped. People live in fear here. This is what I would say.
The government, every time they announce the deaths of various fighters, say that they've killed Al-Qaeda people, and they seem to suggest that everybody who's on the streets is somehow an Al-Qaeda member. Do you see, or are you aware of an Al-Qaeda presence in Taiz, and what do you make of those claims?
Not at all. I mean, I've been covering this uprising for over 4 months now, and I've been in this city for over 2 weeks. And what I can see is that every day I'm accompanying the protest. And what I see is tribesmen walking with the peaceful protesters when they go on the streets. And I also see the presence of the tribesmen who are armed is evident. But I don't hear confrontations in Taiz. What I hear is heavy artillery attacking the city. And after many interviews that I have made in the city, my conclusion is that the tribespeople, as they say, they are trying to protect the people, trying to protect the peaceful protesters, and that the shelling, the daily shelling that normally starts at 10 o'clock at night, and it also stopped for 2 days while the UN mission was here, it happens all the time and is causing a lot of problems, mainly to civilians.
All right. Thank you very much indeed for your input from Taiz.